Hi everyone, it's BDevine and welcome to Divine Miracles. And today I want you to choose pile number 1 or number 2 to represent something from a past life. I'm just using one of these cards because I really love Brian Weiss. If you haven't read his books, they're just amazing. Okay. Many Lives and Many Masters is one of the greatest books that he wrote. Anyway, so here we go. This one's going to be about a description of a past life, your purpose then, a lesson that you might not have completed, and how that life is relevant to you emotionally now. So this is number 1, pile number 1, or pile number 2. I'm going to start with pile number 1. And I'm going to lift my camera back up. Okay, so we can get it back onto the easel. Okay, ready, number 1? This is your pile. Okay, so this is your first card, communal living. Okay. So this is a relevant past life, and obviously you were living with a community of people, and the energy here is everybody working together, everybody being able to function as a team. And maybe now in your life now that you are focused a lot on the community and a lot on working together with others, and having this connection with other people. And sometimes when we have a past life like this, where there's a lot of people all living together and working together, we decide to choose a life where we're always feeling like we want to be, close-knit with people, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. So you could be in this life now and feeling like something is missing, and it could be because of this, right? And because of living in these times where everybody did everything together. So this is going back quite a long time as well. Everyone working as a community, everyone functioning together, and each bartering, different items to each other as well. Different skills, but also everyone felt safe, living together like this. So if you have a feeling inside of yourself of, feeling uneasy, or not feeling connected where you are, or not feeling, or maybe you're suffering from anxiety or something similar, and you don't really know where it comes from, this could actually be holding the key for you, this particular life of communal living. So let's have a look what your purpose was then, number 1. What was your purpose then? Okay, that's interesting. So your purpose then was to spread light, to spread knowledge. You may very well have been somebody who was leading a group, a community, or people were coming to you for assistance and help and knowledge, etc. You may have been somebody who came forward with new ideas and new tasks and, new ways to do things. You might have been an innovator. You might have been an inventor, You may still like to have inventions now and do things now. So the energy here is that, you lived in this community, and you were most likely the community's leader in one way or another. Now, what is a lesson that you may not have completed? Number 1. Okay, so in that particular life, you may not have felt that you completed communicating very well. So even though that was your job, you may have felt like you let people down. You may have felt like you could have done more, could have said more, could have been more, or whatever it is the case for you, right? There's that kind of energy with it all. It also feels that you didn't have a connection with other people, or you don't feel like justice was done. A connection with other people meaning in a relationship. It feels like you stayed quite alone in this particular past life. So the energy here is that in this life, even if you are in a relationship, you may still feel alone, or that something is going to happen. And this may be something that you have to let go of, and also your need to feel responsible for everyone and everything as well. So this is a lesson that you didn't complete, something that you felt restricted in doing, something that you felt, you could have communicated better or led people better. So this sense of unhappiness is something that you didn't complete, because we're all supposed to understand happiness in our lives. So how is this relevant now? Let's have a look. Okay, this is relevant to you now because you are trying to build something. You are trying to create something. You're trying to teach something. Okay, so if you have confidence issues or trust issues, or am I going to do the right thing, or am I going to let everybody down, or what if I do this and someone comes along and it's better than me, or whatever, your doubts and worries and concerns obviously stem from far further back than what you can imagine, right? Because you don't want to let anybody down. So you have to allow this to release from you now. This emotion of I must make everybody happy is putting pressure upon you that does not need to be there anymore. So you just hereby declare that you are now releasing any energies from past lives that are not positive for your life now. You're letting go of anything that you do not need, and you are asking for everything that you do need, all the skills and abilities that you had in that past life, to now move forward into this life. Getting rid of these unnecessary worries and, stresses that you are holding on a much deeper level than you may have realized. Because there's things that you need to do and you need to share, and you're being held back by this emotion of what if, or I just want to make everybody happy but it may fail. There's just this energy of if I do this, this will happen, and you need to have it in a more positive way for yourself. Knowing that you are completely supported and guided in whatever direction it is that you take. And this unnecessary stress, worry and concern is holding you back. So this is something that is very relevant for you now, number one. And very, very important that you let go of, so you can allow all the abundance and happiness to roll forward. Okay, that's interesting, number one. Okay, moving on to number two, the past life reading for you. And this is the first card. So this is a relevant past life. This is going to give us an indication. Wow. And it's in Asia. That is interesting. Okay, so in this particular past life, there could be many things happening here. Obviously, the first feeling that you get when you look at this is Buddhist in temples. Maybe dedicating your life to those ways. Maybe building a firm foundation that you believe in for other people. Maybe you were somebody that people came to receive blessings. Maybe you were a monk, or the energy that your family or your belief structure is around religion, or was around this kind of religion or way of life, okay? Which is really interesting. You may now be very called to Asia, or want to go there, or want to see the Great Wall of China, or you just want to be in that energy. And this could be because of a past life that you had there, and possibly many past lives with this connection. I also just get this feeling of building and construction as well as I'm talking. So possibly you had a hand with stonework and building things and being a part of that energy. All right, let's have a look what else we need to know. More about your purpose then in that particular past life, number 2. Ah, look, the Emperor. Doesn't that make sense? Wow, and the words are the Emperor, and we're talking about Asia. And that's who you were, okay? Part of the royal family. Maybe you were the Emperor itself, or maybe you were just part of this particular dynasty. And as such, there are so many things that are restricted in those times, but also there's a lot of abundance on one hand, and a lot of people are also going through poverty. So perhaps number 2, an issue or your purpose then was to help others and to allow peace to reign, and to be working with construction and building things, and maybe building an empire as well. And your purpose then was to also maintain a sense of values, a sense of peace within yourself no matter what happens, and also a sense of protection for yourself and the realms. Okay, let's keep going. A lesson you may not have completed from that time. And you have the 8 of Wands. Okay, so something that you may not have completed, number 2, is being able to travel perhaps. You may not have felt that you had much outside support either. So perhaps, a lesson that you were trying to learn in that life was to expand or to broaden your horizons, and maybe be more accepting of other people and their point of view. And maybe this was something that you were not able to do, or that you made promises that you never would do. Okay, so a lesson here is not being able to express yourself creatively, not being able to travel, and not being able to broaden your horizons, which is something that you feel that you did not complete. And maybe in this life you are really focused on travel, you're really focused on making sure you go everywhere. Okay, it's something inside of you feel like you need to do. You're focused on broadening your horizons, and maybe you can't feel settled. You get somewhere for a year or so and you're like, I've got to go. Feel like the energy to move on. And that was because in that particular lifetime you weren't able to at all, which is really interesting. Okay, and how is this life relevant to you now? Wow, the Empress. Okay, so the peace and the happiness and the contentment that you're trying to bring about in that life is very relevant now, because it's very important to you now. Sharing and giving as well, maybe to your own detriment, putting everyone else's happiness first. Because it's like, sometimes there are promises made in past lives where we had money, say for example, and you may very well have if you are within the royal family, it's like you make promises where you don't see it helping, or people come in and a lot of people are murdered for the money or for taking over, etc. So, in past lives you may be like, well, I'm never going to let that happen again. And whenever we make a vow or a promise in a past life, there are energies and guides there that are keeping that current. They're holding the vibration of those things. And so we now need to allow them to go, We now need to say thank you for holding that promise and holding that energy. But now with love, we ask you to leave so that I'm free to open up my own abundance in my life now, So this life is relevant to you because you still go through life wanting to give to others, sometimes at your own detriment, sometimes putting yourself last in order for other people to have things. And this has to stop. This pattern is not serving you. We always have to focus on loving ourselves, giving love to ourselves and balancing our energies. Okay? And if you're always giving to someone else, it can build up a resentment in you where you feel nothing happens to you. You give to everybody else, but nothing happens to you. So you build this resentment without meaning to, but it happens anyway, and that's never a positive force around you. So remember that it's wonderful to give to others, but you must give to yourself and free yourself from any past energies that are still hanging on. And of course, you can come and have past life therapy with me. Over the phone we do regression therapy, like quantum healing, hypnosis therapy. I am a trained practitioner in that. However, I do things in my own way to suit while we're over the phone. So, there's many things that you can do to help you get past some certain things. But here it's like you are very connected, as we said, to Asia in this past life energy. Some people don't, have been in these particular places and don't want to go anywhere near it. Like for me, for France, I've been in France in past lives and I don't want to go anywhere near it. Not yet. I'm not ready yet. So anyway, so this is the energy for your past life little reading. Of course, it's, broad. Just keep that in mind. But it may resonate with you on some kind of level. And until the next video, or till the next time we talk, many blessings and goodbye for now. Bye.